So I'm standing about 8 feet from the car, and what I'd like to do here on the video is one, kind of show how it presents itself, and it looks good. I don't see any blemishes here from this distance, and what I'll do now is I'll go in there and we'll look at the bumper, hood, get some paint measurements. This is an electromagnetic paint meter that I'll be using. It reads the paint to the thousandths of an inch, and what we're looking for are signs of respray, repaint, or rework. Indication, I'd get a reading of 19.7, and that's an indication of body filler, right? So, I mean, it's okay to have it, but then I have to focus on the quality of workmanship. Will you have any problems in 6 months or in a year or what have you? That stuff's all hard to predict, but at least let's dial in and take a look. Here, I always like to look at the front bumper. It looks pretty straightforward. I've already tapped it a couple of times, and it didn't hear any rattle noises. There is a gouge here on the left side. You're looking at the headlamp assembly. I checked for cloudiness. It looks pretty straightforward. I still need to check the lights, but I don't see any cracks or any cloudiness like I mentioned before. Here I can see some slight swirl marks, and that's just from detailing. That's not an issue, I don't think. But let's start off with the paint meter readings. That's 6 thousandths of an inch, 7.5, 6.5, and 7. And this, so what we'll do now is we'll compare that to the other panels to see what those readings are. Typically on these cars, I think it's around 4.5 or 4 to 5 thousandths of an inch. So I do suspect maybe some respray already on the hood. Moving on, looking at the windshield, I've already captured a still photo of the VIN, and while I'm here, I like to capture the condition of the dash at this angle, and also look at it from the inside. Didn't see any chips here in your view here, but it is cracked right here, or chipped, and I've got still photos of that. Okay, and let's take a look at the roof line. I always like to take a look at that, and I might as well get the paint meter readings while I'm up here. Okay, 3.5. Those are the measurements I was expecting. 4, 4, 4, and 4.5. So that's good. It looks like it's a factory paint work. I like to check the roofs because some people like to jump on them and use them as a trampoline. So it looks like that's not the case here. Looking at the left fender now, we got 3.5, 4, 3.5. So that looks good. Looking at the left front wheel, I look at the sidewalls for any signs of damage. It's a 195/65 R15. I'll look at the DOT number and decode that for you if I can to see when the tire was actually manufactured. I also like to take a look at the wheel well area. What I do here is I try to get as many angles as I can, 2 or 3. That way, if I miss it on the first pass, I catch it on the second or even on the third. So, and I always like to look to see if there's any impact damage there. While I'm down here, I always do the side view of the side of the car, and what I'm checking here for are any obvious, maybe minor dents or dings or signs of waviness on the body. So far, it looks pretty straightforward. Looking at the outside mirror, looks pretty straightforward. Usually they get scuffed up, but it looks good. All right, let's get some door metering readings. 4 and 3.5. All right, looks good. I always like to check this area because this is where the fingernails like to scratch the paint. Looks like it's good or it's been buffed out already. Don't see any issues with the glass. No cracks or scratches. Pillars look good. Same with the rear door. Rear door paint meter readings 4, 3.5, and 4 thousandths of an inch. All right, let's go ahead and get a view here from the top. We're going to work our way down and do that whole side view look again. All right, looking at the quarter panel, 4.5 and 3.5 thousandths of an inch. Looking at the left rear wheel well area, we'll take a quick look at there. Inside, what we're checking for again is any signs of debris or possible impact damage from the wheel picking up something. Okay, looking at the rear sidewall tire, looks like it's in good shape. I see plenty of tread, and I don't see any curb rashes on the rim, or the rim, I should say wheel cover. Right, just some light scratches here, and I don't know if the camera will pick up on it, but just some minor little dings here in this area here. But again, you have to catch it at the right angle to see that. Looking at the rear bumper, again, I do the old tap test there. Doesn't sound like it's rattling. It is. It's got some heavy scratches here on the back end. The lenses look like they're in good shape. Right, let's get the readings. 4, and 0.04 of an inch. Looking at it from the right side, again, just the couple of chips here, and this is like the entry area anyway, so I always expect to see something. The rear glass, I don't see any breaks in the defrost line, so that's good. Here's another shot of the roof from this angle here, and we'll do another side view of the panels while I'm here. Okay. Again, just some more cosmetic blemishes there. That's about 2.5 inches right there. Because of the dark color, it's kind of hard to see. I mean, you have to really scrutinize the car to really pick up on this stuff. Right rear wheel, well, get a quick shot of that. The body lines look pretty straight, but I will verify that once I'm back in front of the computer. I use grid lines as a tool to check the straightness of the doors. So I may have mentioned it before, it is a two-stage process. While doing the inspections here, the on-site inspection, and at my desk where it's a photo and information analysis. Let's get the door readings here. 4.5, good. Outside mirror, I think that's just bug splats there. I made some little scuffing there. Looking at the right rear or right front tire, again, sidewalls or the wheel well. And this is actually pretty much for me, because I like to review this stuff. So anything that I catch as abnormal, I'll make notes of it for you and what it means. All right. Okay, so looking at everything, all the door panels look pretty straightforward. The only panel that we saw, the paint inconsistency, was on the hood. So I know I'm gonna need to spend a little bit more time when I'm inside the engine bay area to see for front impact damage or any kind of component damage. I haven't reviewed the Carfax. I typically do that after the fact. And so we'll see if anything even showed up on the report. I'll go ahead and move on. This is going to be my second time starting the car. The first time just to move it. Ran it about probably just like 30 seconds just to move it forward. What I like to do here is start the car. First turn on the, power up the ignition. Let me move the steering a little bit. And I like to make sure that all the lights come on. These are all the fault lights, right? I saw the check engine light, I saw the battery, I saw the airbag light come on. The mileage is 38,170. And once I started, once the vehicle's cycled, gone through its system, self-diagnostic, those lights should turn off, right? But it's always important to make sure that they turn on in the first place. So here we go. So it fires right up, right? RPM is about 900 RPM right now. The lights that were on did go off, so that's always a good sign. So we're off to a good start here. All right, then I also like to check the exhaust, right? And what we don't want to see is any type of smoke coming out. Everything has a meaning, whether it's black, blue, gray, or white. But those are issues with the engine internally. So I don't see anything. It's pretty clean. And I don't even see condensation, so it's good. So far, so good. Moving to the engine bay area, we'll get a quick little view of it, but I'll actually let it run for about 15 or 20 minutes while I'm doing the inspection. Because what's happening there now is, one, I want to see if it overheats while it's just in a still position with the hood down. Also, it's going to heat sink or heat soak, I should say, the suspension, kind of loosen it up a little bit. So when I go on the road test, if there's something that's kind of weak, I should be able to hear it then, as opposed to when it's really cold and stiff. Looking at the hood, I did see evidence of tampering, and I know tampering is a harsh word, but you can see where the paint's been chipped and broken. So kind of goes with the paint meter readings that I took earlier, indicating that it was resprayed, possibly a replacement panel. I've already looked at the coolant. I didn't see any signs of cross-contamination in there. The washer fluid looks like it's filled an acceptable level, and I've taken pictures of the engine belts, and I need to look at that still. Also, the noise of the engine is going to come out a little louder than what I'm actually experiencing now. I just hear injectors. I don't hear any abnormal noises coming from the lower or top end portion of the engine. I've already checked the oil level right here, and didn't see any signs of cross-contamination, and it was filled to the proper level. While I'm in the engine bay, I also like to look around the firewall, inner fenders, anywhere where there's wires or hoses, because what I'm checking for are one, any issues in being broken, but also I'm looking for rodent damage. Rodents like to get in the engine bays. They nest in here, and then sometimes they'll chew on the wires or the hoses, which can be really expensive to repair. So I check for that as well further. The brake fluid is right there, a little reservoir. I can't get to it without removing stuff, which I can't do. So I can't comment on its condition, but from what I can see, it looks decent, and it's at the proper level. Going back into the cockpit area really quick, just take a quick look, and idle still maintaining itself, and I'll go ahead and continue on.